1751. Narrated Salim. Ibn Umar used to do Rami of the Jamratu di Dunya, the Jamra near to the Kaf Mosque, with 7 small stones and used to recite Takbir on throwing every pebble. He then would go ahead till he reached the level ground where he would stand facing the Qibla for a long time to invoke Allah, while raising his hands, while invoking. Then he would do Rami of the Jamrat al-Wasta, middle Jamra, and then he would go to the left towards the middle ground, where he would stand facing the Qibla. He would remain standing there for a long period to invoke Allah, while raising his hands, and would stand there for a long period. Then he would do Rami of the Jamrat al-Aqaba from the middle of the valley, but he would not stay by it, and then he would leave and say, I saw the Prophet doing like this. Sahih al-Bukhari 1752. Narrated Salim bin Abdullah. Abdullah bin Umar used to do Rami of the Jamratu di Dunya with 7 small pebbles and used to recite Takbir on throwing each stone. He, then, would proceed further till he reached the level ground, where he would stay for a long time, facing the Qibla to invoke Allah, while raising his hands. Then he would do Rami of the Jamrat al-Wasta similarly and would go to the left towards the level ground, where he would stand for a long time facing the Qibla to invoke Allah, while raising his hands. Then he would do Rami of the Jamrat al-Aqaba from the middle of the valley, but he would not stay by it. Ibn Umar used to say, I saw Allah's Messenger doing like that. Sahih al-Bukhari 1753. Narrated Az Zuri. Whenever Allah's Messenger stoned the Jamra near Mina Mosque, he would do Rami of it with 7 small pebbles and say Takbir on throwing each pebble. Then he would go ahead and stand facing the Qibla with his hands raised, and invoke Allah, and he stood to stand for a long period. Then he would come to the second Jamra, al-Wasta, and stone it with 7 small stones, reciting Takbir on throwing each stone. Then he would stand facing the Qibla with raised hands to invoke Allah. Then he would come to the Jamra near the Aqaba, Jamrat al-Aqaba, and do Rami of it with 7 small pebbles, reciting Takbir on throwing each stone. He then would leave and not stay by it. Narrated Az Zuri, I heard Salim bin Abdullah saying the same that his father said on the authority of the Prophet. And Ibn Umar used to do the same. Sahih al-Bukhari 1754. Narrated Abdurrahman bin al-Qasim. I heard my father, who was the best man of his age, saying, I heard Aisha saying, I perfumed Allah's apostle with my own hands before finishing his ihram while yet he has not performed Tawaf-al-Ifada. She spread her hands while saying so. Sahih al-Bukhari 1755. Narrated Ibn Abbas. The people were ordered to perform the Tawaf of the Kaaba, Tawaf al-Wada, as the lastly thing, before leaving Mecca, except the menstruating women who were excused. Sahih al-Bukhari 1756. Narrated Anas bin Malik. The Prophet offered the Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib and the Isha prayers and slept for a while at a place called Al-Muhasab and then rode to the Kaaba and performed Tawaf round it. Sahih al-Bukhari 1757. Narrated Aisha. Safiya bint Huyay, the wife of the Prophet, got her menses, and Allah's Messenger was informed of that. He said, would she delay us? The people said, she has already performed Tawaf al-Ifada. He said, therefore she will not delay us. Sahih al-Bukhari 1758-1759. Narrated Ikrimah. The people of Medina asked Ibn Abbas about a woman who got her menses after performing Tawaf-al-Ifada. He said, she could depart from Mecca. They said, we will not act on your verdict and ignore the verdict of Zayd. Ibn Abbas said, when you reach Medina, inquire about it. So, when they reached Medina they asked about that. One of those whom they asked was Sulaim. She told them the narration of Safiya, 812. Sahih al-Bukhari 1760-1761. Narrated Ibn Abbas. A menstruating woman was allowed to leave Mecca if she had done Tawaf al-Ifada. Taz, a sub-narrator, said from his father, I heard Ibn Umar saying that she would not depart. Then later I heard him saying that the Prophet had allowed them, menstruating women, to depart.